Yo, what's going on, guys? I decided to do another video, and it's something that I kind of wish I thought of sooner because I think it's a great idea, but it's going to be a tips video. Um, Essentially, the two key things for me, what I'm providing is the two key things that I have learned or I have found that help me improve card magic and card mechanics all as a whole in general. And I have, for some things, I have actual video proof and evidence on my improvement over these things. Keep in mind that no tip is more important than the other. I actually think these are both just as important, especially for whatever your goals are. So let's get into it.
Okay, so tip number one is to have a good place to practice. In other words, a nice spot that you can always practice that's not always a mess. If you ever watched any of Jason Ledeni's interview, one of the most game-changing things was having a direct spot where you can practice, because when you get practice, it's inspirational. You get this boost of inspiration to do it, but then you have to clear your desk off and you lose that inspiration. So my number one tip is to get a good quality place to do your practice. Right here I have this table. I got it last year for at Christmas time. I bought it for myself because my desk was just too small, and now I use that other desk for schoolwork. This Christmas I bought this chair. It is actually a little bit too tall for the desk, so I had to prop it up, but this chair is super comfy, like very nice pad. And if you have a comfy setting where you're practicing, you're going to practice longer with higher quality. You won't get fatigued as much. So it's very important that you get a good chair. Now, for the longest time, I was using a bench with a pillow or a shorter chair with a bunch of pillows stacked on top of it for the proper height. So that's a very important thing. Okay, so the next important thing is to have fresh cards to grab from every 2 weeks or so. Now, I understand that not everyone has access to money to get in all these playing cards, and especially not these more expensive ones that I have up here, or these more other expensive, used for, what's the word I'm looking for? More expensive in the fact that they cost more and they are more usable. Most air cushion cards are very usable for card magic, so don't worry about Richard Standard gold cards or like B gold standards. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. So some great playing cards that are cheap that you should use for this kinds of stuff. Let me go through and I'll show you. Okay, to start us off, we have Aviators. These are about like $2 decks. They're pretty cheap. Of course, we have the Bicycle Standards. These are a little bit more expensive, but you're getting super high quality finish, so I recommend getting those. Now, apart from the Standards, the one I prefer are the Rider Backs, but it really doesn't matter. They do kind of feel the same, but they're great cards. Of course, you have your Tally-Ho Circle Backs and your Tally-Ho Fan Backs. I recommend the Fan Backs. They're a little bit cheaper than the Circle Backs. I only have one deck of the Circle Backs. Of course, for all your gambling stuff, you have your B Club Specials. I also recommend the B Lotus Back cards. They're a lot cheaper than the Club Specials. But other than those cards, those are honestly all you need. They're all air cushion and they're all perform great for all your gambling and card magic related stuff. So I recommend those cards if you want to keep a good, fair cheapness. Now, my biggest recommendation, again, are the Rider Backs. You can get like a brick of them for $20 on Amazon, so look for that. Of course, you can also go to Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco for those cheap discounted standards. So those are some options you have. Okay, for the third tip, I recommend getting a close-up pad. This is a game changer for all your handling, for shuffling cards and stuff. You don't necessarily need this, but I think this one's definitely one of the bigger ones, in my opinion. Of course, if you do the bigger basketball theory, where you practice how to shuffle the cards on the hard surface and then go to the close-up mat, it's going to be much easier. But the close-up mat is amazing. It helps with display, so 100% get a close-up mat. Okay, the third and the final tip, the one that kind of has helped me with most progress, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second, is this thing. This is a 3-way mirror. You kind of already saw it before in the video, but this thing is perfect for figuring out angles and how to clean up your work. And let me give you an example. I'm going to quickly show you a clip of my center deal before I got the mirror. You might have seen the clip on my YouTube channel, and I'll show you a new clip that I made after I got the mirror, and you can tell me what the improvements are.
Okay, so this is one of the first times I recorded my center deal when I felt like it definitely looked good. But you can notice that there's some big things like that flash in me getting the break, the flash in the break before I was trying to get it. The only thing that was kind of good was the consistency of it, but that was because I was using a brand new deck of cards. You can see in the middle of each time I deal that center, that break pops out again, and it just overall kind of ruins the illusion of the center deal. Now, this is the recent clip that I did. Of course, I was a little exhausted, so this took a couple of attempts, but you can see that that break is concealed a lot better, and I'm a lot faster at getting into this break, and that's what's going to allow me to deal the cards out a bit better. There's also, I feel, a bit more visual retention. Of course, there's going to be those weird things. I'm not perfect at it yet, but that break is a lot less noticeable from finger placement because of that mirror. To sum it all up, having a mirror had really improved it because my setup got cleaner. The flashing of the break was diminished. I know that there was a comment back in my cheating at cards, like where I demonstrated all my deals and all that, where that break was showing and that was flash, and that ruins the illusion. So it helped me not flash the break during the deal and before the deal begins. No, I know my rhythm was definitely off, and I've been doing that deal a lot, so I was a little worn out from it, but that was my overall improvement from that deal. So anyway, guys, that's just about sums up my tips video. I hope you guys can use these to help improve your magic. Of course, like I said, not all of us are fortunate enough to have the money for the things, but as long as you're willing to put the efforts in at the parts where it's important, you're going to improve. And remember that all these good things take time. So keep in mind, if you're struggling and feel like you're not improving, take videos and you can see your improvements in real time. Thank you guys for watching. Damn.